Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. For today's video, we're talking about long forgotten loves. We're talking about luxury beauty items that I used to love and I forgot about, which I know sounds contradictory, but the thing is, I review and test out a lot of products, and so sometimes items just sort of slide to the back of the drawer. So that is today's video. But before we go any further, let's take a second to grab our iced coffee or a hot coffee. Let's take a sip and let's get started. I would love to hear from you in the comments as well about what are some of your forgotten luxury loves, because you may have some as well. Now, first up is a single eyeshadow here from Chantecaille, and I kept it in the box. I sometimes keep the boxes for products, I don't always, but this is the luminescent eye shade in the shade Mare. I think that's how you pronounce it. I think it's Italian. And this is from the 2018 Positano summer collection. So on the front of the box here, you can actually see a little seaside escape. We have parasols on the beach. I would like to be there right now, wink. I don't know when this video is coming out, but I am currently pre-filming a lot of content. And so by the time you're watching this, I may actually be on a beach somewhere in the tropics. But anyway, I'd like to be there instantly. And on the cover of the compact here of the single eyeshadow, we have the same logo. And this color here, it is beautiful. It is the most gorgeous minty green. Now, originally, this compact had little waves embossed on the shadow. I think most of it, not all, but a lot of it has sort of rubbed off from wear, and this is the color. It is the most beautiful seafoam mint green. I didn't purchase this when it first came out. I think I was extremely lucky and I was able to snag it, I think through Beautylish or something. Like I found it after it had its wave, its time in the sun, and then I just picked it up last minute. I absolutely love it. Let me know if you remember the Positano collection from 2018. I think there was another color that came out. It was more neutral, and I think there was also a bronzer. But 2018, I think I was on YouTube, but I hadn't discovered Chantecaille yet. And I love this one. When I got it, I think I picked it up 2 years ago, so maybe 2021 something, 2020 maybe, I don't know, around that time. I wore it a lot, and I just haven't had a chance to wear it. I wore it recently with an eye look that I did that was like a winged liner, but before that, I kind of just forgot that it existed. And every now and then I pull it out and I'm like, oh, it's so beautiful. Let me put this back in its little box. I like to keep it in the box because this one has the logo on the front here, so I know exactly what it is when I open the drawer. I don't have to rifle through and just unbox everything. Next up here is a lip gloss from Dior, and these are the Dior Addict Stellar Glosses. This is the shade 765. I purchased a couple of these when these came out. This, again, was a few years ago, and this is just a great lip gloss. I think these are being discontinued. This is the wand applicator. It sort of just hugs your lip perfectly. It's really nice, and this color here is just such a great pink. It's flashy, it's fun, and the texture of this is really nice. It's thick, but not too thick. It's almost like a liquefied lipstick where it has a nice opacity to it. And these came out a couple of years ago. They must be being reformulated because they look a lot like the packaging for the new maximizers. They reformulated these recently, but they look similar to the new maximizers. So fingers crossed they reformulate this, because I think on various websites there's only like 1 or 2 shades left. I own a couple of these shades, I just can't find the other ones. But I love these. I did love these when they first came out. They were just perfectly glossy and very saturated in color. They had quite a few shades, if I remember correctly. This one here is like a little bit sparkly in the finish, but they had ones that were more of like a cream matte gloss, you know, it didn't have any sparkle to it. It had lots of colors. And this one here is pure gloss. It's not a maximizer. It's not a lip oil. It's a gloss. And so I hope that they come out with these again or just reformulate them because these were fabulous. I hope you remember these when they came out. Maybe it was 2018 again. Maybe that year was just like a gem of a year as far as products go, but I love this. Next up is a foundation. Remember this gem? Remember when everyone and their dog was talking about this and buying this? The Armani Luminous Silk Foundation. I have the shade 5.5. Okay, I'm looking here. It says that it is the Allure Magazine 2018 Best of Beauty Award winner. So 2018 was a great year for makeup, I guess. But this foundation, I remember when like every celebrity, every actress, every whatever was wearing this foundation. So I finally was like, okay, I'll buy it. It was really expensive. And yeah, it was great. I think I ended up trying out several samples first until I finally caved in. It's what I'm wearing today. It's incredibly natural. It has a very natural finish. It's sort of lightweight. I used one pump or even less than a pump for my foundation today. And it gives you a nice coverage. I guess it's more medium, but you can sheer it out a little bit. It's oil-free. It just looks great. What a wonderful foundation. And I used it a lot. I gave it a shake before applying it today, but I think I'm like down to here now. Like I give it a good shake, but I think I'm almost done. It's hard to tell exactly how much is left, but yeah, it's been well loved, well used. But you know, as time goes on, I try out new things and then it kind of just like slides to the back of the drawer and then I forget about it and then I open it and I'm like, oh yeah, the Armani Luminous Silk. What a wonderful foundation. I should use this more often. I also think in general, I should try out more products from the brand because I also enjoy some of their liquid eyeshadows, their perfumes. I love their perfumes, but I don't know much else from the brand. So let me know what else I should test out from Armani Beauty. Next up is what I'm wearing on my eyes. I know it's a bit risky, but I'm wearing the Dior 5 Shadow Palette in 887 Thrill. This palette, as you can tell, has been well loved. And again, the vintage year is 2018. What an excellent year for cosmetics, apparently. This was for spring 2018, and there was a corresponding palette that was a little bit darker. I think it had more of a black for like a smoky eye, and it was less flashy. I was obsessed. I was completely obsessed with this palette when it came out because the colors are just so flattering. It's what I'm wearing on my eyes. The center shade is my favorite. I wish they would just make this a single because it's just so pretty. It's so flattering on brown eyes. So I put this everywhere here, the dark plum just in the corner, and then this light pink just in the inner corner here. So pretty. And I know pink and purple is not groundbreaking for spring. I don't care. It's pretty. I like it. I love it. And this was before the reformulation, before they came out with a new formula for their eyeshadows. And this one here was great because sometimes with Dior previously, the formulas were hit and miss depending on the release, on the shades really. But this one here was a straight banger. Amazing. I loved it. Let me just go ahead and swatch it on the back of my hand here. I remember when I would wear this palette out in public, people would stop me in the street to compliment my makeup and ask me what I was wearing because it's just so freaking pretty. I love this one. And as much as I love the reformulation of the shadows, I haven't found a palette quite like this. They have pinks, they have purples, they have some reds, but there's nothing that's quite like this color here. Like look at me. I look amazing. It's gorgeous. And I just haven't found one yet that's the exact same dupe. I keep my fingers crossed. I keep, swatching and digging around. But this one here, there is just something so pretty because it's pink and purple, but it's vibrant. It's not too dark. It's not heavy. It's bright and it's luminous and it's so pretty. And since Peter Phillips never takes a day off, maybe Peter Phillips can just go ahead and recreate Thrill, but keep it permanent. Just like redo this one with a new formula, keep it permanent forever, because I think it's gorgeous and I would like to have it around forever, please. Okay, last but not least is something from Chanel, and this is Lucia Pica, which I know I have had my thoughts on. She is the former creative director for beauty for Chanel. Now she's at Byredo. And I had to remember that there were some pieces from her that I really did love. I just did not love that every single season and collection had to have lots of red, whether it was eyeshadow or lips or blush. It was only red. But she did come out with some gems that I was obsessed with and I traveled with and I loved. And I couldn't remember if this one here was 2018 or 2019. And then I found an old YouTube video of myself comparing this. So this is 2019 here. Side note, I would not encourage you to watch that video of me comparing both of those palettes, because I have to say that I have improved in quality. So I apologize for Past Alley. But however, I also want to thank Past Alley for this video, because now I know which year this is. So this is the Chantecaille 9 Shadow Palette. This is the Quintessence Quintessential Palette number 2. Now, like I stated, there was a 2018 version and a 2019 version. And something about this palette here, the 2019 version, I preferred way more and I was obsessed with, because it just has such a rich color story. You really get the best of all three worlds. So the way that I would approach this is I would often go like this. Like I would just use this series or this series or this series. And you get so much. Like you do have your red, of course, it's Lucia Pica. How can we avoid red eyeshadow? But you get your browns, more neutral. Then these two were the most utilized for me, like a light champagne, a gold, a nice green as well. And then we have some rumblings of Lucia Pica with like these dark matte blues, which we saw later on with Road Movie. And then again, like a nice neutral transition. So you can see that I did dig into this one a lot. And let me go ahead and just give you some swatches. I just remembered how creamy and buttery some of these shadows were. It is a nice texture. It's a nice finish. Some of these feel satiny, and you know, they still feel nice after a few years. They swatch really nicely. So here are the 9 shadows. So we have Color Story over here with like the neutral brown and the red, of course, silver. We have our light champagne colors. We have our mossy green, and then we have our mattes over here. I did not use all of these at once. These were 9 colors. Like I stated, I would go through like 3 colors, maybe 2 colors, depending on the day. And this makes me so nostalgic because I love this so much. I used it so much. And I also traveled with it. I think I took this to San Francisco with me. And I don't know about you, but I have makeup memories. Sometimes I can remember where I was, what I was doing with certain palettes. You know, sometimes I would buy something and I would just, you know, be obsessed with it or be in love with it for a few months like you do at home. And then if I was going anywhere, going on vacation, for travel, whatever, I would take it with me. And so I just remember being in San Francisco in like 2018, 2019, I guess, and just taking this with me. And it's just like a nice memory to look back on. And I love this palette. I kind of hoped that they would keep doing the 9 shadow palettes indefinitely. The last one that they did was the Les Beige, and they went out with a bang with that one. The 9 shadow Les Beige palette, amazing. Still iconic, still something that a lot of people regret not purchasing to this day. And it was great. And I would love to see these again. I would love to see this again. I guess I could use this now. And I know a lot of you at home have it, because a few days ago on Instagram, I had like a Instagram memory where it said like, oh, you posted this a few years ago, and it was this palette here when I picked it up. So yeah, this was like a nice blast from the past, a little bit of nostalgia. Please leave a comment down below. Let me know what are some long forgotten makeup loves in your collection. I would love to hear from you. Feel free to like dig through your collection, old palettes, lipsticks, foundations. I was trying to think of other ones that I may have forgotten about, but these are the top fresh memories, because I remember moments in time when I was just obsessed with these products here, and then unfortunately new shiny things came into my collection and I forgot about them, but I'm just here to give them a little bit of a spotlight. So if you are new to my channel, I talk about a lot of luxury beauty non-stop, so I highly encourage you to subscribe to my channel, otherwise you might miss out on some fun stuff. And on that note, I think that's all I have for you guys for today. Thank you so much for stopping by, and I'll see you next time. Bye.